All right, let's get started and watch a preview of this season. This is the preview released by First Lego League for the new
So
2024-2025 season. Awesome. That was our first look at the 2024-2025 First Lego League season, Submerged. A little background here. I've been a first student since I was back in high school, and this is the water theme season, which has been something that students have been requesting since I was first back in 2009. We've been asking for a water theme season, so there's quite a bit of hype for this season, Submerged, and I'm really excited to see how it all plays out. The official rules for Submerged will be coming in August, but we already know quite a bit about the season just from these release videos and because we know the rules of First Lego League. We've been doing it for a while, so we have an idea of how the season is going to go, and we know the general rules for First Lego League. All right, next slide.
Yeah, but before we get into the more of the details and everything, I just wanted to say that this year we are welcoming back the cross table action. So teams will be racing towards that middle mission model that you can see that's actually spans across from one map to the other. So that'll be quite interesting this year.
So like I shared, that lots of teamwork, not within your team, but also they need a teamwork across the teams. So that's another challenge or fun thing if you look at it in another way. So the kids has to be able to communicate with other teams, talk with them, ask their opinion, and even at the end, in the state level, there will be a kind of friendship, kind of just team up with other teams to run the whole, table run. It was a lot of fun.
All right, next slide. There we go. All right, so welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I am Brian Meadows, the Executive Director of the Center for Future Innovators. Joining me today is Tim He and Ren Lee. We make up the competition team staff at the Center for Future Innovators. We're really excited to tell you more about the First Lego League and this First Lego League season. We finished our 2024 season just in, what was that, February, where we went all the way to state with one of our teams. Both of our teams made it to the sectionals. There was about 600 teams in Illinois, and both CFI teams made it to sectionals. We brought home 3 awards. We brought home our Top Table Score Award, Champions Award, and Core Values Award. We're very happy with how our teams have been going, and we look forward to seeing how this season's going to go out, especially now that we know more. you can see some of the awards we've won listed here. This is all of our awards since 2021 at different robotics competitions. First LEGO League, our first time running it as the Center for Future Innovators was last season. I do have a long history of being a part of First Robotics, being a student that was a part of First as well. But this is going to be our second official year at First LEGO League, and we're looking forward to bringing home more trophies.
Yeah.
All right, next slide. So what is First LEGO League? First LEGO League is the largest robotics competition for youth in the world. Illinois is one of the most competitive states for First LEGO League, where we compete in a few different ways. One of the ways is that table mission that we saw the video for at the beginning of our session today. In the table missions, you're trying to win points with robots that are designed, built, and programmed by the students to complete any number of the missions on the table. You're given a list of rules. They'll come out in August that tell you exactly how you should go through those missions and how you can score your points and win different parts. We're very happy to be welcoming back the Innovation Project, which we feel is one of the most important parts of First LEGO League. The Innovation Project is a research presentation that the students will do. They need to come up with their own research topic and present on it and come up with some solution following the year's theme. This is a fantastic skill for students because, as you'll hear at many First LEGO League or any first presentations, one of the skills that's needed in STEM right now isn't just the math ability or the engineering ability or the science ability. It's the presentation skills. It's making sure that people can understand what you're saying and how it pertains to the general problem. And it's making sure that students get an introduction to research early. So we compete in First LEGO League Challenge. First LEGO League Challenge goes from grade 4 to grade 8. This is the one where we will go to qualifiers sometime in November, December. Then in January, we go to sectionals if we qualify, and then state takes place in February. Nationals takes place after that, as well as Worlds, but you go to one or the other. There's also some invitational events throughout, and you get to go and present your robots to different areas. We were very honored to be able to present First LEGO League and represent First LEGO League at the First Robotics Competition Midwest Regionals this last year. That's the high school competition that's huge, and it's what I was a part of back in the day. And we were representing all of First LEGO League for the Midwest Regionals. So we're very honored by that. All right, we have our coaching staff with us here today. We have Tim He, who's going to be one of our expert coaches. And we have Ren Lee, who's going to be our coach of our highest level team this year. All right, let's learn a bit more about First LEGO League with our next slide. Take it away, Tim.
Thank you, Coach Brian. So of the different things that, also reasons why we want students to join our First LEGO League team is because we really feel that not only is this organization such an amazing experience for everyone, but through our teams, we really get everybody to have that hands-on first-person experience in project learning and critical thinking, because they really have to combine all of this together to be able to do well in the competition. And of course, that also includes things like community engagement, because First wants our teams to really share with our communities and really showcase what these young learners are doing. So what will a team be judged on? Well, First separates their competition categories into these 4 essential parts: robot design, robot game, innovation project, and core values. Now, for robot design, what they're talking about is actually the presentation. It is the entire presentations where the students are presenting about their robots, which they only have 5 minutes to talk about from the very beginning, how they designed the robot, the different attachments, and how they're using it to complete this year's missions. The robot game is what we usually think about and what we saw the video of earlier. The robot game is the table mission, where you are actually spending your 2.5 minutes competing on the table. The innovation project is the research project that Coach Brian mentioned earlier, and that is where all of the each team has to present a research problem and a solution that is backed by experts and that they have actually tested out themselves. While that may seem like a lot, we can't forget about the core values. Through the core values, and I think is really where this competition sets itself different from others, such as like with the World Robotic Olympiad, that also does not include an innovation project, but most importantly, they also don't include the core values. How are you guys working together? Are you actually working together as a team? Are you including everybody? What is the impact of what you guys are working on? That's why we really, really enjoy having students participate in this competition. This slide is the very famous and very important engineering design process that first asks our students to use throughout the competition, starting with identify. What is the problem? Design. How can you fix it? What are the plans that you guys are making? The create, actually making it, the iterate, testing it out, making it better, the communicate, talking with the community, showcasing what you have done and why it's important. Now, I think many students and many teams will use this part in the robot design and the robot game, but they forget that this process is to be used throughout the entire competition and for everybody to be remembering for their entire lives. A lot of the different projects that most of us work on can use this design process, and that's something that we want the students to be able to do. What will your student practice through the competition? So I mentioned earlier that the first core values are some of the most important things that the judges look upon. And then you can see really quickly, they're focused on teamwork, inclusion, impact, innovation, discovery, and then of course, fun. We do want this to be a fun experience for everybody, and we want to build this community of learners who have the same interests or might just enjoy playing with Legos and learning more about whatever it is at hand. So our first LEGO League Challenge overview. So Coach Ren, would you like to start with this section?
Sure. I just want to go over very quick. If you have more questions, you can ask, in the chat, or we can, kind of discuss in the Q&A session. So our Tim and both of the coach mentioned, there are 4 basically parts in this competition. That's why as a coach and as a parent, I feel, I don't know if you allow me to be biased, okay? I feel this kind of competition is nowhere you can find that. We always see, as an educator, we support the kids, through the whole person development. And I feel, FLL competition is a very typical one. So you saw that project learning, you saw the robot design, engineering, and so everything. So I will explain further steps, but that's the thing I want to highlight for you guys as parents. So this is a competition. You will see actually train or leading your students to grow up with, so many different kind of, personality and growth. So we will explain further. So robotic design, easy as it is. So the team need to design our robot, okay? It's not like we just borrow one. we just, kind of, just use whatever you can find on the, kind of website or Legos, because every year the topic is different, the mission on the table is different. So we have to design our very own robot to fit the needs. And guess what? Not design. You have to present it like Coach Brian said. Not just you have a perfect design. You have to have a perfect presentation. So this is, I think, the challenging part as well, especially to our younger teams or rookie team. But don't worry, they will learn. Okay, go ahead. Next one, please. Yeah, and then when you have a robot, as at the beginning, the video shows our last year's team. When you have the robot, you got to have attachment. Why? Because otherwise you can't. It's really, really hard. Some very, very advanced player. I put the player because on YouTube you will see a lot of coaches and past age college kids really still enjoy, wait for the release and start to build it because they love it. Okay, so otherwise for the students like our students age, it's very difficult to have a robot and with attachment to finish all the mission, normally 15 or 17 missions. So we have to swap to put different attachment on. And then within 2 minutes and 30 seconds, we have to finish it, the whole thing. And we have 3 rounds. So the highest round score will be our team's score. So it's really, really challenging, to be honest. A lot of things is challenging. How your teammates are coordinate to make it quick. How your coding, really consistency, the navigates of your robot is good. And how you design your route actually. Okay. Even if you have a great robot, great attachment, which one goes first, which one goes later is also a good question. Okay, it's also among how you want to present the strategy of your robot. Next one, please. Okay, again, like Coach Tim mentioned, innovation project. Sometimes we feel as a parent. Sometimes I feel it's unfair. Come on, you said this is a robotic competition. What is this innovation project? And what if my kids are only good at robotic and coding, but they do nothing? They do nothing about innovation project. Okay, don't worry. Here is where you can learn. Like our teams last year, they learned a lot, and I believe a lot of public school, if your kids go to a public school, I know most of the public schools do not have a chance to let our kids to do this kind of project-based learning or innovation. They want, first want our kids be able to identify a problem in the real society. Okay. For example, this year, it's about ocean. What is the ocean about? Anything. The ocean animals, the ocean water, the macroplastic itself, how to test the temperature and the circumstances. A lot of things can be done with ocean. And what does our team want to do? Good question. That's a preseason that we put together this year. So we will do the innovation project in the summer. Okay. So this is designed especially for our kids because we found out, by doing the robotic part is already a lot of challenging. So from September basically to December, 3 months, guess what? The kids are so busy, to do that part. So we kind of move with our own experience. I think our coach have a meeting. So we want to do the innovation project kind of in the summer. So that will give us more time to finish it and also learn to present it. And guess what? Like how Coach Tim mentioned the engineering process. Once your student went over, one innovation project in a year, no matter he continue or what, I guarantee you, they become to be aware, oh, this is a kind of project that we can do. This is a process to finish, to think about, to do research and how to communicate with the expert a lot of steps down. And guess what? This is exactly when they go to their career field, still the same way, just with a higher level of intelligence, but the methodology is the same. So that's the part, even though at the beginning I felt, come on, why do we have this part? But now as a coach, as a parent, I kind of enjoy because I see my Luke, I see, Ruhan, I see all the kids, Charlotte, all the kids who involved the last year, they have grown so much just because of this part. Okay, so I have to tell a little bit more about this part and get you excited for this. Yeah, next slide, please. Okay, core value. So this is another part I feel the students at this age from grade 4 to 8 sometimes need to improve. Each kid have personality. Each family has different environment. Some kids have a sibling. Some kids don't. Some kids have more kind of keep them in the comfortable zone. Some kids are really outgoing. Some kids really kind of easily work with others. Some kids kind of a little aggressive in a not proper way. And some kids at kind of lazy. Come on, you guys can do it, so I can play a little bit. So we have seen so many different personalities. But guess what? It's okay because every kid is different. But when you come to first, the policy, the rules about core values, the way how we trained our students to know how to respect yourself, how to respect others, how to respect other people's opinion, like here mentioned the teamwork, the discovery, the innovation, inclusive. These words, we talk a lot about inclusive. Are you kids ready to be inclusive? Are you kids know how to be inclusive? So those are the things core value will show, and they will judge you not only at the table, not only at the presentation. You see the big hall at the beginning of the video, the whole big auditorium, the whole big the space. Everyone is watching you. Okay, so this is a kind of environment to push our student to be the best of ourselves, through the whole competition, even through the practice. So Coach Brian always be the police, okay, coming to different practice table and kind of, okay, kiddos, let's pay attention to the core values. But guess what? This is how kids learn. We reinstate the rules. We tell them. We even sometimes punish them, if you allow me. So we discipline them. We teach them. But most importantly, we see kids grow and we see kids understand how important the core values to them, not to FLL competition, to their life as a person. So FLL to me, like I shared at the beginning, as a parent, as a coach, I think this is a great training to bring your kids or student up, to be a better person, to understand how to be a person, to work with others, and how to do a project, and how to help the world actually improving. But most importantly, the last one, don't forget the last one, having fun. We are having fun. I still remember Ruhan's, explanation about the pizza party, visit the CSO, and this year we will visit the aquarium together, a lot of fun thing. And through at the beginning, 4 of them are not even quite know each other. After the season, guess what? They become to be the best friend. So this is a place, trust me, you want to send your kids in because this is a place they are, grow together. They bonded together. And also they learn from each other, right? So because we are old, I'm old at least, okay. So I think the kids learn more is with the peers, okay? It's not with coach. We are more there to discipline and guide them. The most, I think the person they learn with is the peers. So I feel the core value, okay, is super, super important. And I want everyone who's a student I want you to realize it. And for the parents, I want you to work with us, all the coaches and parent coaches. We work very hard to actually train our students, okay, to be a better person, to know how to do things according to core values. Okay, so my part is done, right, Tim?
Yes,
Oh,
your part is done.
Do you want me to talk, or you?
I can take over this part.
Okay,
so
go ahead.
As you can see from this picture, we really want each student to have their own individualized role within the team. We feel having that title gives each person responsibility for what they're supposed to do and how they are supposed to contribute. Now, of course, this does not mean that it all needs to stay the same, right? But even first themselves gives us a pretty good idea of what students can do, right? Some people can be in charge of all the pieces that we have. Some people can be specifically working on the building aspect or the strategizing aspect and understanding all of the rules. And then, of course, we have our main coders. Now, while we want all of the students to have experience in each of these sections, it is best to have specific titles that, help students have an ownership over what they're supposed to get done for that season. Now, before we go into more of the details of what we do and what we expect from our teams, I would like to replay our first slide, since I know some of the parents and friends here did not get to see it. So on the left, we have a review page, and on the right, we have a short little video. So this is the run from last year at the state championships from our innovators team.
You a countdown of 3 seconds. I will say 3, 2, 1. When I say Lego, that's when you are.
So right now you can see Luke is talking to the judge, making sure that the mission model is very well secured, because they're going to need to run into that model. And the students themselves cannot touch it. They have to ask the judges to touch it. And you can see right now, they started off their first run. Once it comes back into that home area, they are able to change the attachments. You can see Ruhan there getting that attachment ready. Once that completes that next mission, Luke is going to take that attachment off, and then Ruhan and Luke are going to swap the attachments. There we go.
You can also see all of the coaches in the background. We are walled off. We can't interact with the students while they're up there. So they have to go buy the training, buy those coaching sessions they're with us, and use the skills they gather there.
And what is nice this year, we will have both of the home sections. So right now they're working on the right side, but the left side team is getting ready, and we have DJ and Raymond there preparing.
These robots are entirely autonomously controlled. These teams have worked hard to create programs that they put on their robot and initialize when they send that robot off.
And we made it to the left side.
Seconds remaining for our teams to make their table.
A very fast, another attachment swap. And you can see while Raymond is running the robot, you can see DJ grabbing the experts off of the attachment so we can prepare them for the next section.
Pre-programmed instructions. Looks like they grab hold of a Lego character. That's Noah, the sound engineer. Back to the home area. Innovators ready for another mission. 40 seconds remaining.
So the teammates can give each other ideas or reminders, but everybody else has to stay behind and just watch. They are approaching their last part of the mission. They are dropping off one of the experts into the area where the skateboard is. And then it's going to go to the final place to drop off one last audience member for the final run. And you can see 2 minutes and 40 seconds. We had about 10 seconds in the beginning where they were figuring everything out, talking with the judges. So they were very, very close to that 2.5 minute mark. All right. And of course, you can see the field trips that we participated in and the community events that the team participated in as well.
Now, if you joined us for the 4-H season, you'll notice from that video, it's a big difference between a 4-H table run and the first LEGO League table run. In 4-H, you press the button, everyone stands back from the table, and it goes. In first LEGO League, the students are constantly interacting. They're preparing their sides. There's teamwork between them, trying to make sure that everything's set up for the next step. And they're constantly changing the codes. It's not one big code. It's lots of individuals where they need to keep track. Which code do I run now? Which attachment goes with that code? Which pieces go on what spot? There's a lot more practice involved with those table runs in first LEGO League.
Absolutely.
Yeah, another thing I want to echo you also, I think parents and students already noticed. For 4-H, we build our own mission. Okay, according to the rules, we build our own mission. But for LEGO League, actually, we have to purchase. Everything is set. Everyone uses the same table, same map, same mission. And it's really fun. Each year, Luke would build those missions. It's really fun. He felt he learned a lot with LEGO design those missions. First, design those missions. So that's another thing I think kids love it.
Absolutely. And that's something we'll be doing during our camp is we have the models from last year that students will be building as well as, learning all of the other aspects too. Okay.
Oh, that's a good point.
So this year, we will be separating our teams into these 3 categories: the advanced teams, the intermediate teams, and the rookie teams. And how we do that is based on the students, their age, their competition experience, their different presentation skills, and where they're located, because we do want students to be as close to each other as possible so they have more times to be able to meet up. Of course, that does not always mean that the students, must live in each other or have the same amount of experience, but we do have a pretty good guidelines for how these are going to work. And of course, our most advanced team last year was the innovators, and this year will be by invite only. So if you would like to try out for the top team, you would please contact Coach Brian for more information about that. And for all of our teams, we do recommend specific levels for each of them. And now this year we'll definitely, at least I hope we can have 2 very competitive teams that at the minimum 2 competitive teams and probably 1 rookie team as well. Oh, I don't know if it says it on the next page, but give me 1 second. Okay, so what this all includes. Oh, Coach Brian, are you covering this page?
Yes, I am. Thank you so much, Mr. Tim, Coach Tim. All right, so our preseason is already getting underway. If you register early for our 4-H, for our first LEGO League season, you'll be starting with our innovation project, like Coach Ren was talking about a few moments ago. We're already getting ready with that innovation project, starting our research. We're learning research skills. Our preseason includes 6 hours broken up into different sessions with our coaches learning how to research, how to identify a good topic, what are the skills you need to do your innovation project. And then there's another 6 hours of team practice. That's times when the teams get together and they're presenting their ideas to each other. This is a fantastic practice for all the presentations they're going to have to do the day of competition. So they're already starting to discuss with each other, get ideas, and then have to debate. These are super important skills because the team needs to function as one. This competition doesn't have a lot of solo parts. While there is solo practice, where the students are preparing their presentation part, preparing their mission part, preparing their code, they have to act as one and choose the best thing for the team. In our season, there's going to be 36 hours of coach sessions. These are going to be times where we are working with our team members, making sure that they're ready for the mission, ready for the presentation, or ready for the innovation project. We will also have an hour of virtual meetings every single week with our teams. And we have some other fantastic benefits being a CFI team member. Joining our teams means that you get the table missions and the registration paid for by CFI. The CFI Lego library is at your disposal. We've been doing this different Lego competitions for quite some time. You see, we started with Road Robotics Olympiad in 2021. We've accumulated quite a few Legos and specialty Legos, these pieces that you can't typically find anywhere else that are very useful for our missions and building those attachments for our robots. So joining CFI gives you access to our Lego parts library, which is thousands upon thousands of pieces. We do have our competition tables available at our South Loop campus. This is where we'll actually be practicing on the tables like you would in the actual competition day. We do research field trips. Last season, we went to CSO. You can see we all got coffee mugs from it. That's what I've been drinking from all day. And we do different community outreach activities as well. Part of First Lego League is making sure that you're giving back to the community. So we went to Allsip Park. We went to different high schools, colleges, different robotics events and community events to make sure that we were showing off what robots can do and how you could be included and how you could do it as well. And then, like Ruhan was so excited for, we have the all teams party at the end of the season where we get to celebrate our successes and just have fun with each other, because you are spending so much time working together and learning together that everyone becomes a great friend. All right. Next slide. Here you can see that breakdown of the coaching time, our team time, and our solo practice. Solo practice is the students working on their presentations, working on their builds, working on their code, catching up to where the rest of the students are, because this is a combined effort. We can't have just a couple members of the team putting in all the effort. Every student is bringing it home with them, and they're working constantly towards the end goal, which is our competitions.
That's right. And all of this information for the team package, as well as the schedule that we have out here, is on our registration page.
Now, all of our team requirements and policies, we do require that every student goes through this with their parents and they agree to these. This is detailed in our registration page. Is the link I just sent in the chat. All right, next slide.
Specifically, yeah.
We do want students to have experience with Lego robotics before this. If you've been in our classes and you finished the 203 class, that's with Mr. Tim, then you will be ready for Lego robotics. But just having built Legos at home with no coding experience, not having done robotics before, that's not enough to be in one of our advanced teams. Possibly a rookie team, if that's the general feel of the rookie team. But to really do well, you need that robotics experience before day one of the team.
Right. And then we would, so with our years of experience, we found, especially for First Lego League, having a minimum of 4 team members is necessary just because of all the things that they have to accomplish. Having 4 really helps the team be able to finish everything they need to do.
Okay. We also need families to be involved. Back when I was a student in high school, my father actually became a mentor on our team, and he was there at every single practice the whole time, giving rides to the students that didn't have rides even. We have different roles for parents to volunteer and be involved in the team, and those are all detailed on our website in the registration link. But it is super important for parents to be taking this seriously. At last competition, we had parents, grandparents, cousins, aunts, uncles, friends all come together to that competition to watch the kids compete. This is a huge moment for them, and it's really great. First Lego League and all first competitions can lead to some amazing things. In fact, I went to college on a FIRST scholarship. So there's so many wonderful things that come out of being involved in FIRST robotics.
Definitely. And you can see that the roles that we are requiring for the parents for each team to have one parent be in these roles. The team manager helping the team figure out when's the best time for the practice and keeping the team in line when we are having the team self-practice, as well as the programming mentor. And that is somebody who is willing to learn with the team and how the scratch codes works. The research and presentation mentor is the one that will be helping the team practice their presentations and really keeping everybody, happy and making sure that everything is going well within the presentations. And lastly, the team archivist. This is the person who's in charge of helping making sure that the team completes their engineering notes for each practice, as well as take pictures for all of the practices and events.
Yeah, I started last year as a parent, kind of a mentor, and together with Mr. Vivet. And then I'm promoted to be the coach. So I'm so happy to share with my experience, and I hope more and more parents actually join our coach team. This is, I think, the time, the efforts you invested in the students, I think you will feel the most memory in your life. When kids grown up, you still feel, oh, I'm so glad I devoted my time and efforts to help not only my kids but the whole team to grow. And I really think that's a way. And I even have some of the parents really enjoy the missions more than the students. Sometimes you probably want to have a set and try out by yourself, but mainly we want the students to do it, and we as a coach or as a mentors can help a lot, because there are tons of the details to be take care of. So we definitely need the parents to help. This is not a kind of I put my son into the center, my job is done. It's not. I'm sorry to tell you that. And our students, our team, our whole CFI team will really appreciate your help. Q&A, right?
Thank you so much for joining us. I do see we have some questions already in the chat. If you have a question, please go ahead, send it in the chat, and we'll get through them. All right. Our first question. They say we need laptops or iPads, but if we are using an iPad, do we need an iPad keyboard to have the best performance?
So I think an iPad by itself should be fine, even with the actual programming aspect of it, perfectly fine. Now, if the student does have access to a laptop or computer at home that they can be doing their research on and working on the presentations, that would be best, because that is a little harder to do on an iPad comparatively.
And also, the top team, we are talking about using Python. So if we are using Python, then yes, probably laptop is better. But if we just use Scratch, yes, iPad is perfectly fine.
Next question I see is, do the kids need to find their own teammates, or will the coaches help them with that? So if you do register for our as a member of our teams, then we will be working with everybody to help the students find teammates so we can form a team. Now, of course, if you already have a group of friends and that want to work together, that's okay too. But we will be definitely working with the students and families to help form teams so that everyone is around the same level.
Okay. Do the kids need Python or Scratch experience? So for our advanced level team, we are thinking of doing Python this year. So some Python experience would be very helpful. But at the advanced level team, also the students are focusing on their level tasks, and you have to try out to join that team or be invited. So those students mostly have the Python experience, and our other teams, we're most likely going to stick with that robotics scratch. The robotic scratch is what we're learning every weekend, Saturday and Sundays at either our South Loop or our Lincoln Square Center in our 200 level courses, which will all be taking place at our South Loop Center going forward. So if you're wanting to get some robotics experience and get ready for competitions, start in our 200 level courses where you're learning with EV3 robots and on Spike Primes. Right.
So I see another question about the age range and the grade range for this competition. So for First Lego League, unfortunately, it is grades 4 through 8. I know some countries do it by their actual age, but the US does limit students based on what grade they will be attending. So if you are in high school, then I highly encourage to have your student check if the school has a first tech of robotics team, FTC, first tech competition team. That way they can, really join that as well. But that one is a more closer to a real robot. Everything is made out of metal pieces. And of course, that is still the second level of the competition before first robotics challenge.
They're Java-based mainly. Java-based mainly for FTC, for FRC will be C++. So the kids kind of, better and better. But yeah, but also if you sound a really like Lego robotic, feel free to be the TA with us, because our little one always need help. Some older kids, high schoolers can be a great TA. But I hope you find, a proper team. I'm sorry. I was hoping US could accept younger than 16 like other countries do.
Yeah.
I see a question about practices. So yes, after the summer, when school starts, almost essentially all of our practice sessions will be on the weekend. And it's looking like most likely our practice sessions will be held on Saturdays. Now, each team will have a different time session just because we know everybody has busy schedules, but that's why we want to form the teams as soon as possible so we can all be on the same page for the time commitment.
And for individual practice, team practice, it can be in a weekday, evenings, or that's why Coach Tim mentioned, if you have a friends already, school friends or neighbors, so you guys form a team, I think that's one advantage. One thing is you know each other already for the core value part. And then also, I think because you are closing by, so it's easier for you to form the team practice. So that's another thing. But you don't have to, right? So we are a community team. So most of the time, our students are coming from different area in Illinois. And, we particularly have to travel at least an hour one way to the center. So I hope that encourage you, not scared you. So I hope that encourage you. And sometimes, I would like to open my house for actual practice as well. And some parents drive, of course, another more than an hour to my house. So like I said, this is a lot of fun, but a big commitment, and we can make it together.
Being close to your teammates was a fantastic thing for me growing up. Most of my teammates were my church friends, actually. So on Sundays after church in youth study, we would all get together and we'd be talking about the robotics competition and getting ready for that. So if you're interested and you have friends nearby that are interested, talk to them, try to bring them in on the team as well.
And we definitely will have a link sent out to all of the participants of today's webinar. That way, if you have friends or family who weren't able to make it, they can definitely watch the recording. Oh, I see. Yeah. A lot of our students are, traveling over the summer, and that's totally okay. If they are still committed on being a team, all of the teams after every practice or every session together, they will be writing a short little summary. So those team members who aren't able to participate in person can still follow up on what has been discussed.
I think the parents mean that for the summer. So for the summer, the preseason is mainly on Zoom. So you are perfectly fine if you are in China, perfectly fine, because most of the meeting will be in person, unless it's a, kind of a, trip. But hopefully we can record it and, keep everyone, included. So you can still participate during the meeting and let other kids share with you. See, this is another way we practice. You share your experience with other members who couldn't participate. But hopefully, I think there should be a fine way. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry if I sound strict in the following message. If you decided to participate the FL teams competition for the next season, I really, really hope, strongly recommend, or if you call to required your kids to put this FLL competition team into the top priority than your other activity. I know, okay? My son will join the advanced team, so I know how hard it is prioritize things. But I really, really hope if you want to participate, if you want this is a great, successful, positive experience, please put this into top priority. Why? As Coach Brian mentioned, because we cannot see one kids do it, the other kids just relax, because you don't want to be relaxed. Most of the kids doesn't. They want to engage. And this is a, when it's time to actually for the competition, all we show is a team competition. It's not a personal competition. That's why I think, you let me joke about it. You put the money in, you put the time in, right? You put a lot of effort in. I think we want the best, out of this competition. So I really, really strongly recommend we put this as a top priority, at least from September to December. And then I think when it's time we come to the sectional and come to the state, or hopefully we can come to the world national, then I think, automatically probably you will engage more. But anyway, this is something I want to share my best, intention of the request, if you allow me. I think they are asking the north side training center. Would you guys like to answer it?
Yeah, our current plan is for all of our teams to be meeting at our Saturday center at Daystar Academy.
And this is just because Daystar is set up where all of our competition equipment is currently at, and where all of our large competition tables are as well. So it just makes it a lot easier for all of our coaching staff and everyone to use Daystar, because that is currently set up.
May I ask a favor? So please allow me. So if the parents want to run a kind of a team practice without the coaching, I think they are okay to use schedule beforehand with you two to use MGP, right? Or are they not? Everything has to be in Daystar.
So if it is a team practice by themselves, yes, it is possible to use our Sunday location at Montessori Gifted Prep in Lincoln Square on the north side of Chicago, but that is our Sunday only center.
That makes sense. Yeah, if you want, I want, kind of advocate for the advanced team. As they announced, I will be the advanced team coach. So I think we still have one opening. That's what I'm thinking. So if your kids, are really advanced, have a experience or finish at least a 203 classes with CFI and want to try out, please contact Mr. Brian. But again, I don't think you know, it's, you know, if you can't go to advanced, it's bad. No, I think found the proper level is the best. Okay, the experience, the tryout, the learning is the best. So don't feel bad if your kids cannot be into the advanced team or cannot into the intermediate. So don't feel bad, because this is a way of learning. This is a participating. And next year you will be advanced. Next year you will be intermediate. So that's how kids grow. So one thing I want to recruit a good teammate for my son, for my team. And also I want to encourage everyone just feel comfortable, you know, to find the kind of a fitted team for your kids.
I know we did mention that we would like, especially the intermediate and advanced teams to have finished Robotics 203 at our center. But if you have previous robotic experience or have, you know, competed in 4-H or other robotics competition, that can also count towards that eligibility.
Yeah, and if you really want to get ready for it and you don't have any of that, join our first LEGO League camp. That'll give you the skills you need to try out for that advanced team, or at least get on the intermediate team.
Yeah, one thing to add for the team, for the FLL camp, it will be super fun because we are pushing a 3 months learning into 1 week. Guess what? Very heavy tech loaded, because that's the week you will have the real mission before you. You will have to come up how to build your robot. You have to come up how to build your attachment. But you have the innovators team's attachment to take a look, take a peek, but I want you to do your own. So it will be a lot of work, but it will be super fun.
All right. Well, thank you everyone so much for joining us. Coach Tim, Coach Ren, do you have anything else you would like to add on before we end our session today?
No, I'm good. Thank you so much to invite me again to be the coach of CFI. It's a great honor, and I'm looking forward to see all the beautiful kids very soon.
Thank you so much, Coach
Absolutely,
Ren.
we can't wait.
Right. Thank you everyone for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you at our camp, at our Saturday classes, and during the season. Thank you so much. I will be sending out a follow-up email with information on how to sign up for either the camp, for our Saturday classes, and for the season, plus some more information about First LEGO League at CFI. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.